Okay, last page here. So on this first one, you'll notice we have equal sign with something on the right-hand side. You cannot have anything on the right-hand side except for equals 0. So you need to subtract 12 to get it over to this side. Then you have equals 0. Then you have a trinomial. And like I said, all trinomials will factor down into two binomials. Put both of your sets of parentheses down. You look at your first term, it's x squared. The only thing multiplied that will give you x squared is an x and an x. Put those in the front. Factors of 12 that can be subtracted, and I know it's going to be subtracted because they're going to be different signs. Factors of 12 that can be subtracted to give me a 4 would be 6 and 2. You want more negatives because when they combine together, you want it to be negative 4. So put a negative with the 6 and a positive with the 2. As usual, FOIL this back together to make sure you really do get this. If you do, then continue on by solving. Set this factor equal to 0, set this factor equal to 0, and solve. When you get these answers, you can plug them back in. You plug a 6 in here. 6 squared would be 36, minus 4 times x would be 24. 36 minus 24 is 12. Woohoo! You will also get it correct if you plug in this answer, so you can check these. On 24, this is a third degree polynomial, so you are going to get 3 answers. Your first thought should be, hey, I don't know how to factor an x cubed. Well, there is a GCF. In this case, it is the x. Before you worry about the GCF, I would take this 27 and subtract it, make it over to the left. And then you've got the equals 0 that you're looking for. Now think about GCF. Factor the x out of all 3 terms, and then you have this. Once you have a trinomial, it factors into 2 binomials. So write your 2 sets of parentheses. Make sure your x, your GCF, keeps carrying down out in front. It's still important. And then, this was a third degree polynomial, so it is going to have 3 answers. X gets set equal to 0 as it is a factor. X plus 9 gets set equal to 0, it's a factor, and x minus 3, the third factor, gets set equal to 0. If you plug any of these 3 answers in, all 3 of them back into here, you will get a correct check. On number 25, you will notice that both of these do not have a GCF as far as a number in connection, but they do both have a variable in connection. So you will need to factor out the variable. Both of them have x squared, so factor an x squared out. That leaves you with x squared minus 16. Anytime you have a binomial, it is either going to have a GCF you can pull out or a difference of 2 squares. This one is a difference of 2 squares. This is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. So you can go on down to this. So technically this one has 4 answers. When you do this, x squared equals 0, the way you solve that is you square root. And if you'll remember from when we were square rooting, that you should have both a positive and a negative answer when you square root something. So, since you can't have a positive and a negative 0, this 0 is 2 of your answers. You should have x equals negative 4 from this, and you should have x equals 4 from this. Okay, moving on to number 26. When you have this equals 100 over on one side, you need to subtract that off and make it minus 100 on the left. And then look for GCFs. You can only factor a 5 out of these, not an x, because this term does not have an x. So then you've got this trinomial. It will factor down into 2 binomials. This 5 kind of just gets ignored. If you think about solving, if I divided both sides by this 5 to get rid of it, I would divide by 5 on this side. That would cancel out. Dividing by 5 over here is still 0. So it officially gets canceled out, but if you want to think, oh, when there's just a number out front, can I ignore it as far as solving? Yes. Okay, for these, you need to think about what these are. My suggestion would be to look at this one and know that it is going to have 2 answers. and then you can factor it to find what those two answers would be. So remember, this is going to be a negative 3 and a positive 2. This one is going to have 3 answers, so that should be pretty clear that it's A, but you can still solve them. This would be 0, positive 3, and negative 2. This one is already factored, so you know that it's going to cross at positive 3 and negative 2. Remember that these are also called zeros, solutions, and in this case they are the x-intercepts. Down here, area of a rectangle, it would probably be a good idea to review your area of a rectangle problem from your quiz. You multiply these together, FOIL them to find this, and then that's one of the choices over here, choice E. On this one, this one's a little bit different. We haven't done this exactly before. Square this. So do x plus 3 squared. Okay, you're using your order of operations here. And once you have combined all those like terms, it's minus x and minus 1. That minus or negative distributes. From here, you just combine like terms to get that. And then the last one, same thing again. It's kind of like order of operations. You would multiply first, which in this case means FOIL, and then you have a plus 3. So once you have this negative 9 and the plus 3, you get the minus 6. So that is it. Study your flow chart on your purple sheet to help you with factoring.